Welcome to Death and Aliens, an in-depth look at horror and sci-fi TV from two friends who vaguely know what they're doing. I'm MK.
And I'm Courtney.
And Courtney, how are you?
Well, I forgot that I don't hear when the recording comes on. I started it, and so when you started talking, it scared me. Um, but I'm fine.
Great.
I'm okay. I'm a little hungry because I smelled dinner. My mom is here helping me kind of like get my life together. Um, so I can keep studying for the bar and doing my hours and hours on end that I talked about last episode. So she went to Walmart while I was at work today and got like some shelves for my countertop so that I can lift things up. And she got like fruit and she got like fruit and veggies and stuff. I texted her, I said, "Is dinner ready?" And she said, "Yes, I ate." And I said her sad face. She said, "Did you want it in there? No one wants to watch you eat."
Thanks.
Fine.
Thanks, Mom.
Um, so it's it's nice getting everything together and my dishes are clean. They're never clean because there's always more to be added, but she bought paper plates and bowls and silverware and stuff, so I
Good.
hopefully don't have to shred. It's truly the only thing that's helped is because every time I'm at Rachel's, like, obviously, like, I'm studying for the bar, so I'm working in overtime. They've just had
Yeah.
a baby, so they're working overtime,
Yeah.
and we're all just trying to survive and help each other any way we can, and
Right.
it is a rocky process, let me tell you. I'm like, what if I come over Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. and then leave at 5 a.m. And that way I can sleep a couple hours and then I can spend the day working. And you don't have to have a 12-hour shift. Like it is literally such a like conglomeration. I mean, it's
Yeah.
fun. I love the baby, so like it's fun, but it
Yeah.
is a little makes me a little sleepy sometimes. So I've just been kind of like pushing through the week. Oh my gosh, I have an update. It's a very exciting update about books. So I told you about my conundrum and mix up with St. Martin's Press where I got the wrong football book.
Yeah.
2 days later, I got the right one. So now I have two football books.
All right.
Um, I'm very excited about that. I have not started them yet. But I have gotten a little bit of ways. I'm about halfway through the Golden Couple, which I'm supposed to have book club on tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Um, and then I'm almost finished with the Tradwife Secret.
Okay.
Are you familiar with this like Tradwife
Like
thing
the
happening in the
phenomenon
world?
that it
Yeah,
exists. Yes.
yeah. So this is basically like a thriller based off of that. And I was skeptical, but I wanted to give away on Fable. And I was like, I'm gonna
Mm.
give it a go. And I actually really like it. Um, it's really fun. And then I'm reading Flirting Lessons, which is my rainbow read, for my Goodreads bookmark for my challenge.
Okay.
And all I want to do is read. And I'm just jealous every time you tell me to read because that's all I want to do is sit down and read. And I don't have the time. But I did watch, this is me until the rest of time.
Yeah.
I did finally watch the show Better Sisters. It just came out, so I don't know why I'm saying finally. But
Okay.
it's got Elizabeth Banks and Jessica Biel. Have you
I have
seen
heard that
word of
that
it?
exists. I have heard that that exists. Yeah.
I'd give it like 3.5 stars, like out of
Okay.
five.
Okay.
Um, Me and mom watched it. It was pretty good. But it's on Prime and it's it's a little bit of a slow burn, but every like wrongly accused or like lawyer story of someone dying and going through the legal process is always a little bit of a slow burn.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but it was a good show, so we're gonna have to find something else to watch this week. But I'm just hanging in there. Just hanging in there.
Yeah.
Got a lot of liquids today, so I'm supposed to chug some water because I don't think water is one of them yet. So
Good.
how are
Okay.
you?
I'm also very hungry.
Mhm.
Um, when we started recording today, Dan was like, just text me if you want me to make you any food. And I was like, I'll be fine. And then I never texted him. And then I looked at the
Of course
clock
you
and
never.
realized it was 9:45 and was like, man, I actually am kind of hungry. I don't know what is wrong with me.
I don't know why you would ever turn down food. Someone else making you food.
No, because I've been nauseous for 3 days. It's 100,000 degrees.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, that's
uh,
fair, but like, still.
every time I think I'm hungry, I eat something and then I feel more nauseous than I did before I ate. Um,
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm not pregnant, I'm just miserable.
I didn't say that out loud. I just said it in my brain.
You didn't have to say it out loud for me to know that that's what you were thinking in your head.
Yeah.
No, not pregnant, just miserable.
Love
Be
that for you. Love that for you.
stressed out,
Mhm.
anxious,
Mhm.
overtired, all of the things that make eating terrible. Um,
Sure, sure.
I yesterday was Father's Day, and
Mhm.
I took my dad to brunch, and like, I mean, me and my sister and my mom and Dan and Colin all went, but like, we took my dad to brunch on a boat. It's a little boat
Oh,
cruise.
how
It was
fun.
very sweet. Dad enjoyed it. Um, one of my students, and by my students, I don't know this girl. She just goes to the school and like has lunch,
Mhm.
and in the lunch period that I supervise. So I saw her and I go, hey, that goes to my school. And then today at field day, I was like, did you enjoy the boat yesterday? And she goes, what? And I was like, well, like the Father's Day. She goes, oh God, yeah, I was there. I was like, okay, God, I wasn't imagining it that it was her. Okay, that's um, but but it was fine. The problem was we were also doing hosting Father's Day dinner for my father-in-law, and until we got to the store at 2 p.m., I didn't know what we were making for dinner.
Oh, how
Which,
exciting.
but also we went on this brunch boat, and because I worked so long Saturday, I slept in, so I didn't have coffee before we left for the brunch,
Mm,
and it was like really shitty buffet brunch coffee.
right.
And so in the morning when I woke up, I actually like slept enough. I was feeling great. I was like excited to see my dad. We had a great time on the boat. I was like with my family. Everything was great. By the time we were halfway done with shopping, it was now 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I hadn't had a single solitary decent cup of coffee. I never felt better again for the rest of the day. Like I took a
Oh,
nap, I had coffee, we cooked dinner, we hung out with his family. I was like fine. Like in terms of like I played the part of being like totally cool, and like I love his family, I do. But like never was back to being like awake and like good. I had a
mhm.
migraine, I felt nauseous, like I was not good for the rest of the
Yeah.
day.
What did y'all cook?
Marry me chicken and orzo. But when we make Mary Me chicken, because I can't eat them, we take the sun-dried tomatoes out. So then I roasted a tray of like tomatoes and garlic for everybody else to like then put into their orzo if they wanted it. And I made green beans, and I bought some cheese and fruit platters, and then
Nice.
David brought a peach cake.
Hmm. I'll tell you, my go-to when I'm like, I have to make something today and I don't know what it is, it's pasta. Every time it's pasta. I don't know what
Well,
kind.
yeah.
That's
I
my
mean,
go-to.
it was delicious. It's wonderful. We make it a lot, but also like we have to be really careful with sodium for Meg.
Mhm.
So
That makes
like
sense.
things that taste good and also don't have salt in them is that's not a Venn diagram with a wide middle.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But we made it work and it was fine. And
Love that.
I don't have to be at work till 9:30 tomorrow. So
Mm. I just go to work sometimes. I got there at 10:30 today. I was up at like 6:30. My mom's like, what time do you leave for work? I was like, I should have been up a half hour
I mean,
ago.
to be fair, I got to work at 8:30 today, but not I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, they want me there from 9 to 4:30. That's when they'd like it best. Um, my body just doesn't cooperate. Does not matter
No.
what time of day I get up. I'm not there. I'm there at 8 or I'm there at 10. You do not get to choose. I don't get to choose. We just figure out what
They're
happens.
theoretically pushing our school day back 20 minutes next year,
You
so then
told me
I
about
won't
that, yeah.
fingers crossed.
Best
Um,
of luck.
but since we're both mildly functioning, um, Dan's definitely cooking something for me because I hear the timer on the
Oh,
microwave going off
perfect.
right now.
I smelled
Um,
the food. That's how I knew it was ready.
since we're both dying, can you give us some words of encouragement to curb our
Yes,
hunger?
absolutely. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. Pablo Picasso.
Oh, I like that.
I liked that too. I liked that too.
So today we are talking about Stargate Atlantis, Season 1, Episode 2, or Episode 1.5, depending on who you talk to. But for our purposes, it is episode 2. Um,
Mhm.
Rising Part 2. It premiered as part of a 90-minute block, so everything is the same. It is still, and it is credited as one single episode. So same rating, same date, same world events, book, movie, blah blah blah. Same.
So this one actually doesn't
This
change
one
like last.
actually isn't the same. Yes, like last time it said 2 parts, but it wasn't. It one but was actually 1 part, but then it actually wasn't. This one, every single
Mhm.
thing is the same. Director, editor,
Gotcha.
everything's the same. Um,
So,
so the star we're talking about today, I know I probably could have talked about Colonel Sumner, but I
it's
just don't
fine.
care. Um,
It's fine.
I am talking about Rachel Luttrell, who plays Taylor. Um,
Mhm.
I probably have more notes about her than I do about the episode. So, um,
Okay.
she is known for Stargate Atlantis and also her other top 2 highest credited things are for stunts in both Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War.
Who
Um,
did you stunts for?
I don't know. I think she was just in on the stunt team. But if I
Hmm.
had to guess, she probably just based on build and look, probably Zoe Saldana.
I was thinking that's who I would have
Yeah.
guessed. Yeah.
Um, she was born in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Her grandfather on her mother's side was the village medicine man. Um,
Oh.
and her father was actually an American economics professor who was working at the University of Dar es Salaam. Um, he was originally from Bossier City, which is near Shreveport, Louisiana.
Bossier. Bossier.
Bossier.
I was
Okay.
really trying to figure out. I was like, you said it and you just looked at me. I was like, she's thinking Bossier. And I was just gonna wait and make
Yeah.
sure before
Yes,
you
but
said
okay. That's not how I would say that word.
that's okay.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
okay.
Louisiana.
Okay. So yeah, so he was from Bossier City and
Hmm.
moved to Tanzania to teach economics.
That's a little over an hour away from where I grew up.
Well, I pulled it up. I like wrote it down and then I pulled it up on the map and looked at where it was on the map and was like, oh, she'll know where that is.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
um,
I used to go every Wednesday to Bossier and watch American Horror Story at Carrie's apartment.
oh, Carrie is from Bossier?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
She did she went to med school there. And so she
Okay.
was and she's from there, but she went to med school there and now she's lived in Colorado and Japan and I truly do not know where she is right now. I see her stuff, but like I don't know where she's physically located right now because she just moved again.
Perfect.
So
Um, so after so obviously she was born in Tanzania. She moved to Toronto when she was 5. And as a child, she was trained as a classical soprano and ballerina. She played the alto sax and learned horseback riding. All of this as like a single digits age child.
love
Um,
that for her.
her first film role was while she was still in high school, and she played Billy D. Williams' daughter in a direct to TV movie.
What movie?
Oh, I forgot what it was called. I hadn't heard of it.
Mm.
But it was direct to TV in the like 80s, so I'm sure I never saw it.
Yeah. That's probably
Um,
true.
she went to college for theater, but then after a year decided she wanted to actually learn something academic and transferred to U of T to study English. But then she ended up auditioning for the Canadian like national production of Miss Saigon and getting a part and dropping out of college anyway. um,
Amazing.
yeah.
Amazing.
So she did a lot of theater in Toronto and then she moved to the States and was still doing theater. Then she moved to Hollywood and tried to get into film, and it was not very easy. And she was getting really, really sick of the cycle in Hollywood and decided she was going to quit to go to UCLA and study architecture. But put in one last like audition and ended up instead of going to UCLA for architecture, went to the British Academy of Dramatic Arts and studied at BADA instead. Um,
Sure.
so she is still acting. She also runs her own like online acting studio. She says that her when she's not on screen, her first love is writing, and like on her Instagram bio, it says actor, writer, singer, mother. Like that's like her things. And
Yeah.
she does have two children. Her oldest is her daughter Ridley, and Ridley actually just had her first film debut in 2022. Um,
Aw, that's cute.
and then in 2011, Rachel released her first jazz album. So she is literally the fucking greatest. Like she has done everything, everything.
I love that. I feel like if I become
I love
what I
you.
want to become in life,
Me too.
um, hey Dad. Um,
Cam brought me
I feel
good.
like if I become what I want to become in life, this would be like a similar vibe of what, not
Right,
like these things, but this
but
like, oh, she lived in New York and then she lived in New Orleans and
and
then
then
she
she
wrote
did
a
this, and
book
then
and then
she did
she,
this,
yeah,
and her grandfather was a medicine man, and like,
right. Except he wasn't, but he was in the Navy. But you know,
yeah.
it's
But
fun.
so like,
Oh, my
yes,
grandfather was a medicine man. He was a pharmaceutical guy. I never met him though. He died when my
right.
mom was like 2 or 3 or something. But
Well, and my grandfather, two of them were army medics, and one was a chemist. So like, also,
yeah,
um, yeah. But so Rachel Luttrell Taylor, she is every amount of badass that I wish I could be.
absolutely,
Yeah.
100%.
So
I love her.
we start this episode with what I can only assume is again a weird syndication choice of when they split the episode and didn't know how to put it into two parts, because we get the
Yeah.
entirety of the theme song and the credits playing on a blank screen of underwater.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
my TV was broken.
I thought I had accidentally paused it because I do because my headphones you could just tap them and it pauses things. And when I'm at work, I do that all the time when people talk to me. And I thought I had done that somehow, and I was like, "Why is it go? What is happening?" And then I realized it wasn't me; it was them.
Well, I knew the music was still playing, so
Well, I wasn't paying that much attention,
I
honestly.
thought something was wrong. I really thought
Yeah.
I broke my TV. Um, and so we started this episode. We do not have a previously on or anything because again, still
What
technically
episode?
the same episode as last week.
Yeah.
Taylor's village is being attacked, and Shepard calls to Colonel Sumner and tells him to focus on the ships because everything that's actually happening on the ground is not actually happening.
Hmm.
Um, which is a weird skill that the Wraiths have to create hallucinations that will eventually just disappear.
Oh, that's not like gonna become a thing.
No, it exists for a while, and then they just like they will slowly forget that that is something that the Wraith can apparently do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. 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 Cool.
Um. Um. Sumner and Taylor are both beamed away. And the ships fly away. They start to fly through the gate, but John tells Lieutenant Ford not to shoot, just to memorize the gate address so that they can get back to wherever they ended up. Um, then John approaches the downed ship that they had already shot down and sees an arm moving on its own,
Hmm.
which
Good
is
stuff.
real cute.
Hmm.
And the little kid, Holling's son, comes and says that his dad is missing. So we know his dad was probably kidnapped as well. Um, Back in Atlantis, we find out the force field is continuing to fail, and Rodney's like, at this point, we do not have a choice. We have to go now, or we will all die. Um,
Cool
but
stuff.
but as they try to dial out, the gate is being dialed in, and they can't leave because the gate is opening. But Shepard and Ford come back, and they have brought all of the survivors of the settlement of Talos people.
Hmm.
And Weir is like, we have a problem. This is a very bad decision. We're trying to leave. And he's like, that's also a bad decision. Um, and he's like, we can't go back. She's like, well, what are we supposed to do? And John just grabs the little boy and he goes, Jinto, you know other gate addresses, right? Let's take us somewhere. And Weir's
She's
like,
like, He's a child.
Oh, Jinjo. Um, so then the shield does eventually fail. They are pretty sure they're about to die, but instead of drowning, the city rises out of the water.
Just out of nowhere.
You know, um,
As
and
cities tend to do.
right. Well, when they're
That
magical
would be really
alien.
convenient for New Orleans. Because we are going the opposite direction.
Woo. Um, what was I just talking to? Oh, I was talking to Dan and his family, and I was like, if you guys want to know about weird Bermuda Triangle type conspiracy theories, just ask. I will tell you everything you ever needed to know. And
I'm by the Bermuda Triangle.
they were like, what?
November.
Well, because I said something about taking a Malaysian airline flight.
Mm.
And
I
they
just
were,
listened to the Malaysian airline episode of Two Girls One Ghost.
and I was like, yeah, there's the one in like Southeast Asia. I was like, there's the real Bermuda Triangle. I go, then there's the really weird one in like Michigan.
And there's one in LA.
Yeah, and they were like, what is wrong with you? A lot. The correct answer is a lot is wrong with me.
It's okay though.
Um, but now, so now that the shields aren't holding back the entire ocean, the Naquita generators that they brought can keep the power on. Um, but unfortunately,
Hallelujah.
they're not strong enough to turn that power into a shield. So,
They're like, what's the point? We can power it up, but we cannot protect ourselves.
right. Shepard's like, cool, so we're just like floating target practice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So then John just like takes over and starts bullying Rodney, and he's like, "You have to find you have to find Carl Sumner and Taylor." Um, and he's like, "Well, you gave us six like symbols for a gate address, but now we have to like figure out what the combination of like numbers is to like get there." And he's like, "And there is a lot of permutation like to those six numbers," and John, my love, just goes, "Yeah, 712." And Rodney's like, "I'm sorry, what?"
He's like, I knew that. I didn't know you knew
Right.
that.
So this is our first glimpse into the fact that, like, unlike Jack, ways of differentiating are sassy military badasses. Unlike Jack O'Neill and his quite literal lack of knowledge about anything.
Sure, but the
Um,
military.
um, Jack is actually, or John is actually very smart.
Yeah.
Um, so Weir asks him to step aside so they can have a conversation, and they walk, and this door opens, and they find themselves on a balcony, which is nice. We get to be outside, which
Yeah.
is a new feeling because the SGC is so deep underground. They've never been outside.
No, they don't know what the sun looks like.
And they're having like a disagreement, and she doesn't want to let him go ahead with their rescue mission. She is very stressed that it's just going to have him end up being killed. And he's like, yeah, but we can't like leave people behind, like that's not what we
Right.
do. And he's basically like, our people are in the hands of the enemy, which means that the enemy has the ability to access information like about us. They're going to come find us. um and she's like, I understand what you're saying. I need you to understand what I'm saying. We don't know enough about them to know if it is even feasible for you to try to find out. So, like, they have some disagreements, and they come to a mutual decision, but it involves them yelling at each other, and that is not going away either.
Yeah,
uh,
that tracks.
yeah. So then we cut to Taylor waking up, and they are on a Wraith ship. And the Wraith arrive, and they take the one really scared guy and just take him away. And Sumner and Taylor both are like, no, take me instead. And the Wraith just
Mm-hmm.
walk away. Like, no,
Like,
thank
don't
you.
have a day.
They don't even deign to have a conversation. Um, at Atlantis, they finally figure out the permutation, find the gate address, and it's just a gate floating in orbit above a planet.
Yep. Yep.
Um, so mm, McKay takes John to the dock where we had all the spaceships last episode, and is like, "I'm guessing with your little ancient gene, you'll probably be able to fly these spaceships." Um, and again, a lot of this is just set up for the things that are going to be different in this universe than what we've previously seen. Like Atlantis is a very different, like Pegasus is a very different galaxy. We're basing things based on the ancient technology, not the way the Goa'uld functioned. And so
Yeah.
you are going to have to be using spaceships and doing crazy things that like were not a conversation in the original series. Um,
Gotcha.
and so this is all things like basically like we're gonna put in a bunch of random things just to show you like what this show is
Just so
going
you
to
know
be.
what's about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Makes sense.
then we cut to Beckett in the lab studying the dismembered arm. And he discovers that the arm has like some kind of genetic manipulation thing that it can regenerate. And also, it is very, very, very old and very, very, very unlikely to ever die.
Like the doctor.
Yeah. It is kind of like the doctor's hand. Only much grosser.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like not
Um,
not my top pick.
yeah. And so then John, oh, Rodney brings Weir into the ship bay, and John's like magically flying in the spaceship already. And so she agrees to let them go look for this Wraith ship. And he and Lieutenant Ford get into the ship and they head out for the rescue mission. Um, we get our one of our recurring tropes of Lieutenant Ford trying to name things and John hating every name he comes up with. Um, and we officially get the name of our spaceships, which are puddle jumpers. Which, because the Stargate is like a puddle.
Yeah.
It's cute. I love it.
It is cute. It just sounds like we are in the 1920s naming things.
Yeah, but Gateship 1 was not better.
Lame. Puddle Jumper is cute. It just feels like old timey.
Yeah. Um, the ship basically flies by reading John's mind. And so it like does everything based on his thoughts. And so he can just think about where do I need to go and the map will show up. And like then he also thinks about like what is he gonna do when he finds them. And this life signs detector um device just pops out for him.
Right.
On the ship, the Wraith come back and to the cell and they get pissy with Sumner and take him away. Um, just
He did
not,
instigate, but
yeah.
you know,
Um,
leaders.
Shepard lands the puddle jumper near the Wraith ship and they head out to find their team. Um, the Wraith takes Sumner to the dining room and we see the remains of the other guy just at the table, looking real cute. And a very poison ivy coated wraith like just falls from the sky basically, and she's talking to Sumner. And then we flash over to Shepard, and he and Ford are made it to the cell. They find Taylor and Holling and they find out that Sumner was taken. So they ask the guys outside to be able to like cause a diversion so that they can get like distract the wraith. And Shepard uses his uh, little device that the ship gave him to try to find uh, Sumner in the ship. The Wraith woman is telling Sumner that he trespassed on her feeding ground, and only then does he put together that she like ate the other guy who's
Right.
desiccated. And one of my favorite like off fucking the cuff shit that the wraiths say. She says that hunger is distasteful.
I know, I was like, she's so wild. She's so wild.
Um, and she's very excited by the idea of Earth and the bounty of people that they can feed on, and because this galaxy has not seen numbers
Right.
that high in quite some time, I
Because
can't
they ate
imagine.
everyone. Jesus, I mean,
um,
we don't eat people, Carl. This woman, I can't with her.
yeah. Um, we also find out that they have the ability to like force people to do things. Like she forces answers to questions
Mhm.
out of him, and then she physically forces him to kneel. With
It's
just,
like the the Darth Vader.
I think it's more
The
like
Force. It's
vampire.
like the Force.
No, I think it's more like vampire diaries with compulsion, where they just say things and they have
Mm,
the ability to, in your mind, make you do it.
yeah, I
Um,
guess that's fair too. That was a
yeah.
good comparison.
Um, and John sneaks up. Oh, and she starts to suck his life out, but he won't talk to her. And so this is when we find out what the Wraith do. The Wraith feed on people by quite literally sucking years off of their life.
Yeah, that sucks.
Which, again, is why Dan is concerned that I think they're sexy.
I think it's interesting that we have this idea because we've already seen other elements that have taken like have aged people. Like we saw when Jack got aged, and now
hmm
we're seeing it like in a different light, but still like the same result, I guess.
Well, and it's also interesting that like the two greatest enemies of the ancients, the Goa'uld and the Wraith, are both obsessed with youth.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
Yeah. Um, um, but despite that, he's still not talking. He's not caving. And so then John sneaks up and shoots the Wraith, but she heals and just immediately continues to suck on Sumner. So John kills Sumner, which he feels real bad about, but he does it to stop her
Yeah.
from feeding on him.
Yeah.
He saves him,
Right. Like
but
it was too late for him at that point anyway, so.
exactly. Um, and then the other Wraith hits John from behind and brings him down to the dining room table. And now the Wraith is asking him all these questions and trying to figure things out. And she finds his life sign detector and she wants to know how he got it. And she's still trying to understand what's happening.
Mhm.
But John and Ford basically start blowing things up and distracting everybody. And then he stabs her with one of the Wraith weapons so that he knows it will actually kill her. And she says, "You made the biggest mistake because we were just the caretakers. Without us to keep the energy in the ship with the youth, they'll all wake up." And then you see that the entire ceiling is just like pods of
Eek.
Wraith. Cute. Yay.
It is kind of like a vampire. It's like a vampire den.
Yeah.
So that is.
Um, on Atlantis, Rodney is like really excited because now that they have power and they can actually like do things, he's like geeking out about all the cool things that are in the city and everything that he's gonna learn. But
Mhm.
Weir is too nervous about the rescue team surviving that she's like can't even have this conversation with him right now. Um, and then Then we go back, and John is taking everyone to the ship, and he's getting them all off the planet. Ford and Taylor are bringing up the rear, and Taylor is back there because she can tell that Ford is going to fall for the manipulation and the stuff that the Wraith are doing, and she knocks him out of the way of another beam, and then John takes out a ship and saves them. And they all get in the ship. They fly off the planet. However, as they head toward the gate in space, it is surrounded by Wraith ship. So John uncloaks the ship to draw the Wraith away and starts taking out them. He he's like, I wonder if the ship has like weapons, and then the weapons appear.
Right.
Love
Yeah.
that. Um, So they dial the gate and they are able to send Lieutenant Ford's code, get everything ready, get the iris down, but then the gunfire starts coming through the gate. Very dramatically, the pedal jumper makes it through the gate, and the iris goes back up just in time for the Wraith ship to crash on the inside. And
Yep.
then we have basically a welcome to Atlantis party with everyone, and we find out that we don't know their names yet, but the people that we just met, like Tayla and her people, they're called the
Mhm.
Athosians.
Okay.
That word was never said in this episode. It
No, I've
obviously
never heard that
no
word in my
no
life.
no, it was not said. It was not said in this episode. It's one of those things where like I know it wasn't said yet, but I don't know what else to call them because I know what they're called.
Right.
And
Which
it
is
is
fine. It's not like that's a
yeah, and
spoiler.
it's not a spoiler for me to tell you the name of the people. Like it doesn't mean
No.
shit to you anyway. So the Athosians are all also staying in the city with them basically because there's nowhere else for them to go.
Right.
And John is like feeling really guilty and feels like he like let everyone down and he all he did was cause more problems by waking up these Wraith. And Taylor is like, no, but like you do have friends, you have us, and now with our help we will like also um be able to like create more. So basically John is now living the life Daniel wishes he had, where he's actually like going to be
Right.
able to go out and meet other peoples and create relationships and build a world.
I love it.
Yeah. Um, and then we have Carson and Rodney playing the roles of Waldorf and Statler, as they often will, and making Carson is forlornly wishing that Taylor was rubbing her forehead against him instead of John, and Rodney and his citrus allergy just too much. Um, yeah. So that was like a really quick episode to talk about, I feel like. Like,
It was, but I have some questions.
please.
So I know obviously there's a lot we're gonna learn about how things work and what,
Mhm.
but this, even though we've seen the ancients, all this power is very new to me now. So I'm trying to figure out kind of like the how everything works. And so like I know John controls the ship with his mind. And I know that John has specific DNA that
Mhm.
interacts with the ancient world. Um, so is that because that like he is part ancient? Like he was a
It
descendant of a descendant of a descendant? Or is it
yeah.
like
So
okay,
it's theoretically we don't know for sure, and we don't really ever know for sure, but it's
okay.
theoretically determined that the in that hologram from in the first episode where they talk about the
Hmm.
ancients who went back to Earth and just like stayed there, it's
Right.
theoretically determined that the people who have that gene must have had one of those ancients who came back as a survivor to Earth somewhere in their genetic history.
Okay, and so like if they have more power, it's because they have more ancient genes, kind of. And like
um,
John was like immediately in the chair, but the guy before him was like, yeah, this works too. Like,
yeah, so yes and no. It's probably less about the actual genetic material and more about who they are. Because you think about everything that
okay.
Oma talked to Daniel about and why Daniel was allowed to ascend and what kind of person he was. Like
Yeah,
Carson's biggest issue between him and being able to control it is his fear. He doesn't think he's prepared, therefore he's not prepared. Like,
gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
yeah.
it's just like in regular life, the more
Yeah.
confidence you have, the better you're gonna do at it. Okay, so then in order to use these like ancient powers, so like I know we're now learning about all this ancient technology and we
Mm-hmm.
have to adjust to using it as opposed to the Goa'uld. But like with the Goa'uld, you didn't have to have Goa'uld like genes to use it. You just had to figure out the technology and apply it. Here you have to have the genes. So like if somebody like if Rodney was on this ship that you control with your mind, it wouldn't work because he
Correct.
doesn't have genes. Okay.
Correct. Well,
So
and that
fair.
that goes back to the fact that the Goa'uld are not their own. species. They are a parasite. They need humans to function,
Yeah.
which
Well,
means
and their
that
technology, not like magic, I
no,
guess, or
yeah, and no, but it also means they need humans to function. Therefore, humans have to be able to control their technology, or else
oh
they,
yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
yeah.
Um, okay. So I assume we're gonna see this magic. Is that what we're calling it? Magic power? What
No,
is
it's technology. It's just a very, very advanced technology.
yeah. That's like built into your genes as opposed to being like a
Hmm.
robot outside or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Okay. Um, interesting. But I assume we'll learn more about that. They'll give
Yeah,
us more details.
definitely, definitely.
So like was the chair an ancient thing too that like Jack
Hmm.
was in? Okay.
Yes.
And so like theoretically like he couldn't use it now, but he could use it then because
Well,
he
we
had
don't
the ancient
know.
in him.
We don't know. We
Okay.
know that he could use it at that time because of the
Right.
ancient, like, library in his head. However, we don't know at this point if he is, because we know that Carson tested everyone who was on the
Hmm.
our Antarctic outpost, but we don't necessarily know who else in the SGC may or may not have ever been tested for these genes. We have no idea who of our original characters may or may not have these ancient genes.
Gotcha.
The assumption is
Other
that,
than Daniel.
well, I was like, the assumption is that Daniel, as a post ascended being, would,
Right.
and that Teal'c, as someone not from Earth, would not. That would
Right.
be the assumption.
That makes
However,
sense.
everyone else is a question mark.
Do we learn if you can gain these genes if you don't have them?
You cannot.
You can't be like implanted with them.
No. I mean, I guess maybe that's
That's
something
a
they could.
bummer. Could do like a what is the thing we shouldn't use? The CRISPR, but for ancient.
What?
The CRISPR machine, like that's how they like epigenetics and stuff.
Oh,
That's how
girl,
you
I
decide.
barely passed science.
Yeah, I mean that's not. It's bad. It's not a good thing. It's
Oh,
not a good thing. But like if you're using like ancient genes, that's probably fine. Like we can probably use it for that. That doesn't seem harmful. Yeah,
I think it
it's
actually
all
sounds
part of
very
the.
harmful.
Well, it depends. It depends. Maybe you can like take them on and it build your immune system if you have these genes now, or like build you up. Like I don't know enough about them yet, but it's like it's kind of the idea of like with epigenetics where they try to go in and like physically alter your DNA to make whatever genes they want to make you
Yeah,
blonde and blue-eyed, you
yeah.
know.
No,
That's
think
the CRISPR does stuff like
oh,
that.
think of it more like
Um,
Harry Potter. Either you have magic and you or you don't, and some people are better at using it than others, but like it is innately part of your existence.
so I can continue to think of it as magic, although it is
Yes,
technology.
correct. Yeah.
Got it. Hmm. Okay. I'm not convinced you can't figure out a way to like, but I'm not convinced
Well,
you couldn't do that in Harry Potter either. Like I feel like you could if you could find a way to like supplant like
I mean,
genes
to
and
be honest,
use them and whatnot.
who knows? I mean,
But it's not a part of the show. Like that's not something I need to worry about for the show. That's just a thing I've run with. Okay.
yeah,
Got it.
correct.
Got it. Um, so I'm trying to think if there's anything else that like I was trying to take away. Um, so the rates are a big bad. They're our gold. Okay,
Yes.
cool, cool. I wasn't sure if they were gonna be like the folklore of the what are they called? Ethesians? What are they?
Oh, the Athosians?
Athosians. Okay, and they're like so they're like our Jaffa, but like friendlier, or like the Tokers. Like they're gonna be with us throughout.
They're yes, yeah, they're living on Atlantis now with them. But no, they're not really. They're more like the Abydonians. Like they're just another group of people.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was meaning more in like a friendly sense. Like we work
Oh,
with them now,
sure.
they're around.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
they stay throughout the show. Like it's not we just see them once and they're done.
I
Okay. We're
mean,
building a base right now.
yes. Yeah. I mean, and it's not like they're going to be very much like a every single one of them is a big character kind of
Well,
thing.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, but no, but they don't like disappear. They move to Atlantis and they stay there and they're now the population of the Atlantic city. Yeah.
Right. And at the end of this episode, we still don't have a shield, right?
Correct. We still do
Okay.
not have a shield.
Cool, cool. Cool, cool. All right. I'm trying to
Yeah.
reframe my brain. to figure out how Atlantis works.
Which is helpful, but also not, because next week we will not be watching Atlantis.
Oh yeah. We'll be back. We'll be back soon
We
enough.
will. We will be back soon enough. But the next episode of the podcast will be back to SG1. So, and for the next couple
But
weeks,
it's back and forth now, right?
yes, I was like, for the next couple
Yeah,
weeks, it will be 1 and 1. So it'll be like, I'm trying to remember. I saved this picture with my list, but it's now a matter of where and
I
when
have it. I have it very, very
I was like,
fast. I have it.
I was like, do you have it fast? Because I
Yes. Okay.
oh
What is your question?
I was just trying to remember when the next time there's anything that isn't a um
Oh, I don't have that far. You don't have it that far. You just have the next two episodes.
oh, then that's not the device, the thing that I'm looking for.
Oh,
There.
no, I have your handwritten notes that you sent me.
Oh, the handwritten notes about what we are recording, yes, but the one that we're gonna post on Instagram with the back and
Oh,
forth for
yeah,
the
I
whole
don't have that
season.
one yet. I don't think you sent me that yet.
I apparently also didn't download it to my phone, even though I swear to God
Oh,
I
cool,
did.
cool, 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 cool.
So,
That's fine. Um, yeah, but we got a little back and forth and
yeah, it'll the canon timeline. How many plays?
so then since we're going back where we left off with Stargate was
Yes.
I have taken notes. I've forgotten. It's a good thing I took notes because I sure don't know anything that's happening.
Yeah, no, we there's a weird part in the middle of the season where we're gonna watch like a bunch of one in a row, but no, for the next significant amount of time, it'll just be back and forth.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me.
We came out of the replicators. We're trying to team up against Ball.
Yes, I am. Sorry, I'm officially actually downloading these images so that I
Perfect.
have them. Um, yeah, okay, so the next episode we are watching for our little teaser sneak peek, we are going back to SG1, and it is season 8, episode 3. Which is very strange. No, it's not unrelated, but it feels unrelated for a bit of the episode. No, like it
very exciting for our last SG1 before our break.
Right. No, it's like the first half of the episode you feel like it's not related to anything that we have been talking about, but then like there's a twist and you find out that it is actually related to, like, it's not like it's all like, oh, it'll come back up later that it matters. No, it's like the first half of the episode feels like oh, what is happening? And then once you get to the end, you're like, oh, okay.
Can you remind us where we left off?
Oh, so we left off with the promotion ceremony where Jack took over the FGC, and we are left to go to Antarctica. And obviously based on the fact that this canonly happened next was this what we just watched. It's been a little bit of time. Jack is now officially running the base, and our SG1 team is just Sam, Daniel, and Teal'c. It's been a little bit of time, but not enough time that Jack is totally feet wet, ready to really know what he's doing as the general.
Sure.
So that's kind of the world we're going back into. Asgard are back to being our friends. Anubis has been destroyed. Replicators are out there, but not near Earth. Everything. Baal has taken over a lot of the system lord situation. Nothing really imminent is headed for Earth, but everything's still kind of up in the air.
I'm sorry, I interrupted with a lot of questions. Did you have like trivia and stuff for me
Oh,
this
no, no,
episode?
no. I didn't because
Okay,
it was
good.
all one
Oh,
episode.
it
So
was the
like,
same. Okay, okay.
yeah. Yeah.
I realized I hard diverted, and then I was like, wait,
No,
maybe we should
that's,
come
I mean,
back.
but that's the thing. Like, I love that you have questions because usually, I usually can't answer your questions, and this was
Sure.
fine. And B, if I'm just talking the whole time, it's not a very interesting book.
Sure. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um,
Just
yeah, but so, who do you want to punch?
right. Hmm. I mean, I think I want to punch that Wraith woman,
Valid.
you know.
Um, Valid. I'm gonna punch Dr. Weir. She wasn't
Okay.
bad, but she got there, she came together, but she just really is a little bit struggling on how to calmly handle her team because she's very emotional about it herself right now.
Right, right.
Like she was like yelling at Rodney, yelling at John, like she was so distressed herself about the fact that they were all gonna die that she like didn't handle the pressure well.
Right.
And she just needs a little to remember how to be a leader.
Hmm. Fair. Fair.
Yeah. Who was your MVP?
Hmm. Hmm. Um, you know, I'm gonna go with Sumner. I understand he's gone and he's not really the MVP of the episode, but he did sacrifice himself basically for the good of everyone else. He volunteered to go over the Thosians and knew it wasn't going to go great.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna have to go with him.
That's totally fair. Um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Shepard.
Sure. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's the easy answer, but I think it's the right answer. So
It's the right answer too, though.
yeah,
I just Sumner is now dead. And so when they're
fair,
not a bad guy and they're dead, I would like to
fair enough.
MVP them instead of punch the, you know.
You do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So next episode on Thursday is the final episode of Clarice for our Thriller Thursday.
Hallelujah.
And then on next Sunday, we will be watching Stargate SG1 Season 8, Episode 3.
Oh
So
my goodness.
if you have thoughts, theories, questions, feedback, please email us at deathandaliens@gmail.com. Or you can find us at all of the social media at Death and Aliens. You can follow me everywhere at EMKAY_superstar.
And you can find me at CE Cloud 13.
And we will see you on Thursday.
See ya.
Bye.